The major reason we don't know how many children are being damaged by the P part of the DPT vaccine is because doctors don't report reactions. The government, medical schools, and the medical community have done a good job informing doctors of the need for the vaccine. But from what we found, many are not aware of the risks and the reactions from the shot.
When she was 4 months old, on the same day she had her vaccination, she had her first seizure. She was shaking and she was turning blue and she appeared to have breathing problems. By the time we got her to the emergency room, she was okay. And we told the doctor that she had had her vaccination that day. Could that be a link there? He said, no, she probably was just choking. Just take her home and she'll be fine. But 2 weeks later, she went into a grand mal seizure. She was very near dying.
The Yankoviches, who live in Kenosha, Wisconsin, said they knew it was the DPT shot that damaged Abra, but it wasn't until they found pediatric neurologist Dr. Gordon Millichap in Chicago that it was confirmed.
He realized right away that it was the DPT.
Dr. Millichap told us about the shot and his feelings about the shot, especially the pertussis in the vaccination, and he said personally he wouldn't even give that to his dog.
They also went to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota.
Our pediatrician told the doctor the story about Abra, said that she had seizures stemming from a DPT shot, and the doctor interrupted him and said, yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about, send her up.
She'll have good days and she'll have bad days. She'll experience hundreds of seizures in the day, and some days we're blessed with only 1 or 2 seizures.
She's a joy to be around because she's such a sweet-natured girl, but we've been told that she probably will never walk on her own, and she probably will never talk.
Emily and Connolly Yankovich have been close friends with Gail and Lorenzo Brownie for some years. They don't live very far from each other in Kenosha. Knowing of Abra's reaction, Gail was very apprehensive when she took her son Ronaldo to the pediatrician for his DPT shot.
I asked the doctor what the odds are of our child having a similar reaction, and he said that I didn't have anything really to worry about. Then he went into the convulsion, and I thought, oh no, not Abra again. And the doctors told us, well, he just had that it was an ear infection, and that, it's really nothing for us to be upset about. The pediatrician didn't want to admit that the shot was any problem.
But now Ronaldo's doctor admits he is a victim of DPT. His treatment has been expensive.
We're so far behind because of the expense that we have. All our savings is gone.
Then eventually I just end up going back to work part-time because to make the ends meet. We don't know if he'll learn to talk or what he'll be like as he grows older. And it's hard to look forward to even think about another child. Is just the farthest thing from my mind.
The Yankoviches, the Brownies, all the families we have talked to are angry, bitter, and frustrated. They say doctors, manufacturers, and the government do not want to admit they exist. Of all the cases we have come to know, only one was reported to the manufacturer and the government. It was Ronaldo Brownie, and it was only because Gail Brownie forced her doctor to do it.
I wanted them to have accurate records because, to me, they told me 1 in 70,000 children react. We had our son and Abra in a town that has not much more than 70,000 people in it. So I felt those figures are obviously not correct figures.
I did a survey of all our immediate physicians in the area in Madison. I didn't get one that said, I record adverse reactions. As far as the reporting in this country is concerned, it's a disgrace because it just simply isn't done.
It is here at the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, Georgia, that all information about the disease and vaccine reactions is stored and analyzed. The problem, almost everyone agrees, including the CDC itself, is that the reporting system for vaccine reactions does not work. Part of the problem is a lack of knowledge.
When they would bring the interns on their tours and tell them what was wrong with each child, and they would get to Ronaldo, and the student doctors would look at each other and say, oh, I didn't know that could happen.
And there's another reason that keeps doctors from reporting.
Physicians in this day and age are always concerned about lawsuits.
More and more families of DPT victims are deciding to sue, not only doctors, but manufacturers and the government. Alan McDowell, an attorney in Chicago, represents a number of them.
Some of the institutions that I've seen in this state and some other states, that I've spoken to certain administrators at those hospitals or at those institutions, and who have indicated that they do have children there as a result of the DPT vaccine. Brain damaged children.
Do you think some children have been damaged by the DPT shot and their parents don't even know it?
Absolutely. I don't think the parents would be aware of it, and normally the pediatrician or whoever the GP wouldn't tell them.
Do you think doctors are reporting reactions?
No.
Why not?
Legally, it's not reportable.
Do you think doctors are warning patients about the risks?
No.
The only thing they tell you in your pediatrician's office, generally from the consensus that we've seen, to expect these minor things, a fever, sleeping, irritability, but nothing about the disastrous things that we've seen with our daughter.
I don't think he warns people. They're always so busy. They don't have much time for anyone.
I think if you as a parent brought your child to a doctor for a DTP shot and the doctor said to you initially, well, I have to tell you that some children who get this vaccine get brain damaged, there's no question what your reaction would be. As a responsible parent, you would say, I wish not to take this vaccine. But we do things together as a community to protect each other.
I often wonder about those people who do these studies and who ultimately are the directors of them and so forth, what they would say and how they would feel if it did in fact happen to one of theirs. It's an altogether different ballgame then.
Yeah, I see your big blue eyes.
Kelly Holcomb got her shots through the U.S. Army. Her parents were told nothing of the risk of the DPT vaccine.
She received a shot in West Germany at a United States health clinic, had a reaction which now is known as excessive screaming reaction. The third shot was then given again at a United States Army clinic in Fort Belvoir, Virginia, which is right outside of D.C. At that time, she then experienced what is known as the post-pertussis encephalopathy.
Monty Prizer of Charleston, West Virginia, is Kelly's attorney. The Holcombs now live in Puerto Rico.
She's 8 years old. She is a total quadriplegic. She can only really understand and blink her eyes yes or no.
Are you hungry? I didn't see. Are you hungry? Real hungry?
Okay. Down, lady down. Please, fast, do the best. Kelly, bring it down.
She is in a special education school in Puerto Rico. When she is shown things and asked things, she does blink yes or no. She can do nothing else for herself. Her mother must bathe her, feed her, of course. She has great problems. She will probably, like most quadriplegics, develop respiratory problems and kidney problems in the future. The United States was sued for medical malpractice, so to speak, medical negligence, and not warning the child and not saying when the child had the screaming syndrome in Germany, not saying to the mother, don't have any more. Then we don't believe that the United States properly asked the questions before they gave the third shot. The case was settled for $600,000. $390,000 will be paid by the United States, and $210,000 will be paid by Richardson, Maryland.
Kelly was injured 8 years ago. If she got the shot in a public health clinic today, her parents would probably be given a consent form to sign. It gives the official government risks. Brain damage, 1 in every 100,000 shots. High fever, convulsions, abnormal crying or shock, 1 in every 7,000 children. Almost all parents sign the form. Kids can't go to school without their shots.
The doctor knows that this is mandated by regulation.
So he has no choice.
So he has no choice, and indeed the parent has no choice.
Barbara Siska of Silver Spring, Maryland, didn't want her child vaccinated. She took it to court. She lost.
They do not inform parents of the most important aspects of it, at least not all important aspects, to make the informed decision. And the more important, the consent is coerced.
Since January 1979, her child has been taught at home.
Now, I recommend that parents consult a lawyer, or that they go to their state legislators and to their elected representatives and make a fuss about it.
Marge Grant and a group of parents did just that. They lobbied the Wisconsin legislature until they got a law making vaccines voluntary in the state of Wisconsin.
The law now states that if you, for any personal belief or personal conviction, do not want your child immunized, you certainly do not have to. I insisted that this law must state that any person who immunizes a student under this law must record and identify the manufacturer and lot number of the vaccine used and the type of vaccine is being given. And it is now written in the law. And I feel very good about that.
Is Scotty's law?
I guess you could call it that. It's a little late for him, but some other child could benefit, certainly.
Wisconsin isn't the only state that has gone against federal guidelines and decided to allow parents a choice about the DPT shot. So have 19 other states. In Maryland, Virginia, and the district, you must have the shots to go to school. So far, we have focused on the government and the medical community. But manufacturers, the drug companies, also have a responsibility to make sure that the DPT vaccine is safe and effective.
If you're going to put something on the market, you have the ultimate responsibility to find out what that product is doing on the market. Is it safe? Is it causing problems?
They're the ones who are making the money. They're the ones who could afford to do the necessary studies, and they haven't done them. And it's the children out there who are the innocent parties who suffer.
Attorneys Prizer and McDowell accuse the manufacturers of destroying vaccine records before they can be subpoenaed for a DPT lawsuit. We tried to talk to all of the companies that make DPT, but none of them would do an on-camera interview. So we asked the FDA about it. Do you know if manufacturers systematically destroy records?
You know, I can't answer. I'm sure they don't keep records.
Do you have control over that? Do you require them to maintain records?
All records of adverse reactions must be part of the manufacturing file and are inspected each year as each manufacturing establishment is expected for its manufacturing and control procedures.
How long do they have to keep them?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
So our attorneys went to the FDA and asked for the protocols and the testing of the vaccine. And would you believe, just several weeks before, they lost. They just couldn't find it. In fact, the word they used was, those records were here, but they vanished. I have no question about the fact that there is a cover-up. There has got to be.
There's no reason why we should want to hide those records from anyone. I hope it hasn't occurred. The last thing we want to do is to be negligent in our control of this.
We've known about the reactions to the shot for 40 years. Why only in 1973 did we start to think about it and worry about it?
I think that there's always been interest in pertussis, but you know, the vaccine was so effective that the scientific community didn't consider it a problem.
What's he doing?
But how effective is the DPT vaccine? The official answer from the Center for Disease Control.
The fact that a vaccine is, say, 80% effective means that 4 out of 5 people who receive the vaccine would be protected from whooping cough if they are exposed to it, but 1 would not.
It doesn't produce lifelong immunity and doesn't produce immunity in all children who receive it. It's possible that a child could get the full series of shots and still get whooping cough. It's also very likely that they could get the full series of shots and 6 or 7 years later get a modified form of the disease.
Dr. Stewart says the English statistics show less than 2/3 of those vaccinated are protected.
In any outbreak of whooping cough or pertussis, about 30% of the children have been fully vaccinated.
How long is the DPT shot effective?
For 2 or 3 years from the time of receiving it.